Hello everybody, this is Frankie Day here on YouTube. Okay fellas, today on YouTube is called Introduction to Card Modeling. Right here is an E13 Jake float plane I use on battleships. This is a card kit. Okay guys, as we zoom in here, this card kits generally come in booklet form. They look no more than the thickness of a magazine. And they got card stock in there where you cut the parts out to make the model. This is number 5. This kit was published in Poland. All card kits, most card kits are published in Poland, and they can be bought at certain stores, like Paper Model Store, www.papermodel store. It's probably the only store that in the United States of America that sells card kits, and they're more or less like an international broker, like that of PMI, which is Paper Modelers Incorporated. And they're out of business now, so the Paper Model stores probably get these. Now I got a bunch of card kits. I got probably about 2,000 or 3,000 of these kits, guys. If you guys are interested, I'll send you a bunch down to your house. Now, as we open up right here, you see in front of you, most instructions are written in Polish, but they got pictorial views that shows you the construction. Right here, as I'm pointing at, is the history of the aircraft. Now, this kit here is published either in Polish or in English. Now you gotta excuse the fudge of this camera, folks. I'm using my other camera right here. Somehow I'm having problems with my new camera. There you go. It's a little legible right there. But the history and the dimensions and the characteristics of the Jake is summarized more or less in English and also in Polish. So you only got 2 instructions. Now this instruction sheet for this kit was provided by Paper Modelers Incorporated by Lou Dossie. He's the one who used to own the store, but now he sold it. And right there, guys, these are inside. These are bulkheads. Those bulkheads right there, they go inside the fuselage to give it strength. Right there shows you how to fold the paper and everything. These these instructions, they show you the legend of how the model is built. Because the modelers card models have their own form of construction. There's PMI right there, guys. That's where Paper Models International. That's where I got this kit from, and it's a little out of blur right there, folks. I think I zoomed in too close, so you gotta please excuse me right now. This is a new adventure for me doing this, so I can do the best I can until I get a little better feel of it. So this page right here, guys, more or less shows you the construction, how the model is built. It's very simple, folks. You just got to learn how to work with paper. Parts got to be formed before they're glued together. You can't form a part while it's being glued. We'll go to the next page. Okay, as we flip the instruction form over, I'm going to try to show you the former page. This is the first thing you do when you build a card model, fellas. Right there is your directions. This is the Bible of the card kit right here. Every one of those numbers you see signify the name of the parts that are glued. As you can see that the floats and the fuselage is glued together by segments of round circles that are folded. And in between those circles, as they meet together, there's formers there. You got one wing rib, you got 2 wing ribs with 2 ribs. Now those 2 ribs right there got to be mirror edge, folks. You can take 2 ribs and you cut them out. You got to make sure that they're precisely the same. In other words, you'll have a gap, or you have an unevenness. As we flip over, go to the former page. These are formers, guys. You cut this page out, you get spray adhesive like UHH adhesive or any kind of water-based cement, and glue this over Bristol board. You got to make sure that board is 2 millimeter thickness, because this is paper right here, folks. It's got to be doubled over. It's got to be strength. This is the strength of the model. You got to have these formers. Without these formers, this model will not build. You got to do two layers of cardstock. Bristol board can be found in Michaels, and also be found at Home Depot, Office Max. It could be Hobby Form, all craft stores in general. Those got to be doubled over, guys. You got to take some light cardboard and glue those, cut those out, and glue them in there. When you see the W out there, the W means you got to cut those parts out. That's cut out right there. That's what W means. Okay, here's the color page. Starting out with the outer wing panels and the bottom of the horizontal stabilizers. These wings got to be cut out. Those are your fillets right there that fit between the fuselage and the wing roots. Those are your propellers right there, folks. They got to be folded over. To reinforce those propellers right there, you got to use a toothpick. I'll show you as I construct this model. I'll make a whole video construction of this, but you guys get the feel of how the card modeling is done. This is a simple kit, and there's some out there pretty darn difficult, but they're a piece of cake to me because I'm used to building them. But for the beginner, this kit is not too bad. And there you go, folks. There's a fuselage right there. In front right there, where I got this is the fuselage right here, the section there, where the W's at, that's cut out. That's where the cockpit's at. You got to cut that out so you can see your cockpit. And right in front of that section right there, you see those the teeth edges right there, folks, right there. It's cut out like a V, right there where I got my finger pointed at. Those are called connector strips. Where those scissors right there means you got to cut that connector strip off flush from the outside of that color of your skin of your fuselage, and the white part right there has got to be glued. It's got to be glued flush with the fuselage. These are how your fuselages are joined together, and your formers fit right behind those connector strips right there. So those tooth areas right there, those are called connector strips. They've got to be cut out from those parts there and glued back in, so you can have room for you to join your fuselage segments to it. The bottom of the sections right there, that's where the bottom of the fuselage is glued together. So that's got to be glued together first. Also, the former's got to be the tooth edge, the tooth connector strips has got to be glued in too. The same thing right there at the top of the fuselage. Those are your connector strips right there, and they cut out where the scissors show you at. Then you move right back in and glue it to the top of your skins. Your cockpit right there, your canopy right there has got to be cut out. You got to use packing tape. You got to put tape outside and inside. You cut it out, that'll glass in your canopy. I'll show you that trick once we get to it. Okay, beyond the former page, we'll go to the parts, the color parts. Right there is your inboard wing panels. And those are your fillets where your struts go to your floats. Now the bottom right there, there's two long hexagon strips right there. Those are your struts. Your float struts. Those float struts got to be rolled like a tube. So the best way to do that, you just have some music wire, fellas. You stick some music wire in there, and you got to roll it till something like looks like a straw. Looks like a straw, like a martini straw or something. And those are your struts right there. That's your bottom of your wing panel. That's your bottom of your right wing panel. Here's the top of your right wing panel and top of your left wing panel. And you see these models are very detailed in color. That's the beauty and secret of card kits. The wings just fold right over just like that. And you got your ribs and you got your spars. They'll fill in your wing panels. That gives it your integrity. Because those formers are very important, fellas. This model will not go together. No card model goes together without formers. It's like working with a vacuum formed plastic kit. It will not go together without formers. Right there's the cowling right there, as you can tell. And you got that connector strip. You see those little scissors right there by part 13? That's what I say. You got a cut right there where the black's at, when the end of the black, where the connector strip's at. You can slide that connector strip back where the white is at it, right below the tooth area. Those are your cowling rings. That's your cowling right there, fellas. That makes up your cowling. Part 10, and that's your cockpit floor. So that does it, fellas. That is the construction of card kits. That's how it's done. And once I make a video of this construction of this model, you understand how it's put together. And maybe perhaps you guys even want to try it too. But you got to have patience, fellas. This builds a lot different than the plastic kit. With plastic kits, you can always put glue together, glue this and that. With card kits, you can't. Now for adhesive, you guys say, Frank, what do you use for glue? Use Arlene's Tacky Glue. It comes in a copper or gold bottle. And that's the best there is. You can buy it at Michael's, Hobby Lobby. Those are only two craft stores where you can buy this at. Also, Office Max sells it too. It's Tacky Glue. So that's the glue you use. You got to apply it on with a toothpick. You got to make sure you don't want it too wet because it'll sog up the paper and you'll get a warp in your. And you got to make sure that your wings are very flat when you do it. I'll show you how to do it once we start constructing the model. So I figure it's be a little different, guys, than the styrene plastic. I'm getting the card bug right now, so I hadn't built a card model in a long time, so I'm way overdue. And I'll still build my styrene on top of my card. So I want to get all my roof builds I got started, get them out of the way, and we'll go ahead and wait and get this baby started, and we'll go a few more card kits going on, and any more group builds that interest me, I'll fire one up. So please stay tuned now for my update of my Junkers 88 for Styrene Panzer German Bomber group build. There's yours truly. And we'll zoom in on the video. And stay tuned for my update of my 88, Junkers 88 for Styrene Panzer's group build, German Bomber group build. I should have a video of that, and by this end of this week I should have my Seamaster all done, and to have my Winnie Mae all finished, and probably by Sunday I'll have my Junkers 88 all done. So let's make a day. Signing off. Catch you boys later. Bye, men. Take care of yourselves, guys. Thanks for tuning in, fellas.